Speaking of Dennis Novocaine,
Yeah.
NAMM.
Smooth. Oh, so smooth.
Speaking of dumpster fires, NAMM 2020.
Have we ever established that we don't actually go to this? I feel like it's never been clear that we never
We're there in spirit.
Yeah.
right, but like we're not actually participating,
No.
which is for the best because I do kind of feel like I might have a full panic attack. It's like being in like the biggest guitar center ever.
But you're going to get sick there, too.
Yeah,
So everyone
yeah.
gets sick.
Yeah, yeah. I think like every convention has that problem.
I'd rather spectate
Yeah.
germ-free through YouTube. Sonic State was kind of killing it this year. They interviewed like everyone.
Yeah, they did.
They even talked to the MIDI 2.0 guy.
I didn't
I was
see
like,
that.
sweet. Yeah. Oh, they were talking to dudes who were just doing software stuff. They really had nothing to say, but they were like clearly excited that someone came over to interview them. And it was like, oh yeah, we got lanes now, and look at you changed the colors, and
It's like the Omnisphere people at KnobCon. It's like you can't even remember that they're there because it's like, why the fuck are you here? Nobody wants to check this out at all. You can download the demo, right? Like, what the fuck you here? But yeah, NAMM, bunch of new shit.
Yeah, there is.
and a bunch of old shit that's new again.
Old, that's most of it, I swear. And that's most of what I think I'm interested in, with a few exceptions. But a lot of like new old shit. MPC 1, which like there's like this wave of me liking it and not liking it. I like think about it like, what the fuck am I gonna do with that? And the next day I'm like, well, that's fucking great. That's what I always wanted an MPC to be. And then it's like, what the fuck am I gonna do with it? I don't know. It looks cool, but it's like so similar to what is it, the Live that they have now?
Yeah.
They have a ton of them, but it doesn't have the hard drive. It's like the same shit in a different configuration. It doesn't look that much smaller, but it kind of is. And it looks cool. It's got less I/O.
And the screen looks nice.
The screen looks nice. It is literally the exact same screen as the other one.
Oh, really?
The Force, or the Live.
The Live. Yeah, they even said that it's the same one. So it's like it's interesting that they made it. It's definitely cheaper, by like $300 or $400. It looks cool. Looks like they kind of went for the Digitact,
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't read up on any of them in a few months, but last I looked, they were kind of unifying the OS across the board. It
Yeah.
seemed like. Did that ever happen?
I think so.
Okay.
Because you can load those projects like you can apparently do all this shit just on a PC too, and you can like take those projects and just load them outright onto the computer, and it'll just play it. Same effects and VSTs or plugins and shit like that.
So how does that work with the fact that the hardware models are different and have different features?
Probably like processing power. I know some of them it's like I/O. Like the X, the big one, has like a shit ton of knobs, and the Live has like more outs and ins or something like that.
Okay.
And the one is just like stereo out.
And the one has CV and gate.
Yeah, like fucking 8.
Yeah.
4 pairs of CV gate, which is pretty fucking crazy. That's a lot of shit. But I guess like people are learning now. You're gonna want to throw some CV gate on there for people. It's probably not that expensive to do it, like circuit wise.
Yeah.
It's not like a DSP chip or any shit you need. It's just you just need a fucking DAC to send some voltages out and a way to do it in the software.
Now, was it all output or was there any input?
All output. And unlike the Digitact, it's got like just full effects per channel and shit. I'm assuming you can just stack as many effects as you have CPU for on each drum or whatever. So that's cool. Whereas the Digitact and most of that stuff is like you get an effects send,
Right.
That's about it.
No Electron presence. Speaking of
Yeah.
Digitact, there wasn't
Totally
anything
quiet.
mentioned, I don't think.
Yeah, there were rumors, of course, going up to it, but I didn't see anything materialize there.
So wait, what else did people have? So we're staying on the good for
I was
now.
going to say, let's start
Yeah.
with the good.
I mean, because my
Nick opened up with something positive. We'll continue down that
I can
road.
keep going. Mine is on. I don't know if this is going to be controversial or not. The 4MS Ensemble.
Not
I don't think that's
controversial.
controversial.
Well,
It's next on my list.
no,
Yeah,
all right,
it was
let's-
top of my list for good stuff, yeah.
This isn't the top of my list, actually.
The ENOSC.
The what?
Yeah.
The what?
Ensemble oscillator. The ENOSC.
I hate it. Hate it. I'm never calling it
You're
that.
not going to get a 4MS ENOSC, Dave?
No, I will be getting a 4MS Ensemble oscillator.
Okay.
I'm not.
It's not an acronym.
No, it's not an acronym, and it's not an abbreviation or an initialization. Like, it has a specific thing where
It's not a trademark.
it's a wombo.
It's not a copyright. It's a wombo combo? Jeez.
In any case, I'm not fucking calling it that. Also, like, the pleasure you were having in saying it was disgusting.
I saw it written that way, like one place, and I was like, I have to put that in my notes. Just that is horrible. I didn't know it would trigger you, but that just makes it even more fun to say now.
Yeah, it's pretty much always that.
Yeah, it's
now.
going to be the Enosk now.
Yeah.
For sure.
So the Enosk, what does it do?
Fuck both of you.
It's an ensemble oscillator, an Enosk.
So what is it? 16 different independent
I think so.
oscillators?
But I would wonder if that's like variable. How does the Odessa compare? Because that does is the Odessa just stack partials or is it like copies of an oscillator?
It's partials.
Okay. I'm jumping streams there, but I think of those
And
two
you can
kind of
stack.
similarly.
You can stack voices on the Odessa. It goes, I think, 1, 3, 5
Okay.
different voices.
Like super saw kind of.
Mhm.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, you can stack the voices on Odessa. I've only owned the Odessa for a little while, and like on paper, I was trying to compare it to the Ensemble oscillator.
Mhm.
There seems to be some crossover there, but they also both seem to be really different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Odessa kind of focuses on the whole super amount of partials you can, bring into it and all that jazz, whereas the Ensemble seems to be more like focused on the chord aspect.
Yeah.
And it seems like you can get a little more nasty with the 4MS one. It's got like the built-in, different distortion modes and all that jazz.
And the FM shit. That was
Yeah.
like the real clincher. When I
Yeah.
saw that at the end and heard some of those sounds, I was like, fuck. Because when he's like, yeah, and it'll keep the ratio from the chord structure of the oscillators. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's interesting.
And even the way that you present the chords was an interesting thing because that's a separate input.
Oh,
for the
yeah, where you
chords.
can like program it.
Yeah. So I think there was even like a learn button.
There's a learn button and you can activate it with a gate. So
Oh, really? Oh, shit. Nice.
Yeah, I love how when they do an idea that's kind of weird like that, they go all the way with it and make it something kind of totally alien and they fully think it through.
Yeah, that's the thing that grabbed me the most. Is it seemed really well thought out.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And Dan of 4MS seemed really excited to talk about it, and it kind of like came through, in every interview that he did.
Yeah, and even like the YouTube sound demos sounded fucking great for it.
Yeah.
Like it seemed like a lot of variety.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have liked to hear more of the distortion features and the FM stuff. That all seemed like, an afterthought during some of the interviews. And I was like, show me more of that, please. You know what I mean? Like, it definitely seems like there's a distinct character to this, voice. But I wanted to make sure it's not like a one-trick pony. You know what I mean? And
that's fair.
It doesn't seem like it is. It just seems like they didn't really tap into all the other features aside from like, the high-end steppy stuff. I was like, okay.
One thing I didn't notice is like, how do you pick like waveforms on it or what does it have available? Is it all like...
I thought it was all signed, but
That's
I could
what
be
I-
wrong.
No, it is 16 sine-based oscillators.
The
Makes
detune knob
sense.
really impressed me.
It's the only way it's not going to sound like shit,
I guess my main concern is I wanted to make sure it just didn't sound pretty all the time. You know what I mean? And then when he showed like the detune knob, and I was like, okay, you could definitely get some like glitchy shit out of this. You can get some like dissonant soundscapes out of this. I started to see the potential there, and I was like, all right, I'm kind of sold on this thing.
This is interesting. 3 twist phase distortion effects, 3 warp wave
Right,
distortion
right.
effects, 3 algorithms of cross FM, which I didn't know was on there.
Yeah, that was the
That's
stuff
a
I
lot
would
of
have liked
shit.
to see more of. Like,
The Sonic State one like zipped right by that shit.
Yeah. The interface definitely appealed to me too.
Oh, yeah,
everything's
yeah.
right up front.
Yeah.
No menu diving. Everything looks simple to do. CV over pretty much everything. I don't think there's CV over the different distortion modes and the like FM types. But still, it's just a little switch.
Yeah.
I do
Maybe
feel
there
like-
will be an expander someday.
Yeah, I do feel like 4MS is nailing it when it comes to those sort of interfaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because like they have that spherical wavetable navigator, and it's like a ton of oscillators. It's pretty pricey, and it's like a lot. So I wonder if this is, I don't know. This design isn't like as exotic as that one, even like the look of it. Whereas that one was like pretty over the top, like a light show. So I wonder if they wanted to make something that wasn't like quite like a $600, like, I don't know how much it is, but like 6 oscillator thing.
300, I think.
Yeah, that one's, the new one's like 300.
Yeah.
And they even said they wanted to price it so that it was like, so that everyone could have it, which was fucking cool.
Yeah,
So,
$299. That's insane for an oscillator that complicated, in my opinion.
Yeah.
yeah. Whereas their last two were like almost twice that, but
Yeah.
they were also like way more.
The Odessa's like twice that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, that's the same dude who made the Tapographic. And if there's one thing about the Tapographic is it was like really straightforward. You could get up and running in like a couple minutes with that thing, and that was it. It was nice, no menus. Very straightforward.
Yeah, I feel like as far as modules go, that thing kind of stole the show.
Ooh, I got a different one.
Oh?
My top one.
Really?
Yeah.
What you got?
The Noise Engineering Desmodus Versio, their stereo DSP platform.
You okay? That's your number one?
That's my number one.
Because that's at my
Wow.
bottom.
Do we have to fight? Is this
Yeah.
how does this work?
No, go ahead. I wanted it to be at my top. When I saw that it was announced, I was, very excited. I was like, noise engineering, finally getting into the effects world. Been wanting that for a while.
long overdue.
Something I can run my BIAs through that has like a cohesive sound. But those demos were fucking horrible.
Really?
I could not stand those demos, especially the first one. Dude was just literally running static through a reverb algorithm.
Yeah, that was
It was so bad.
No, I don't remember which video it was. There was one or two of them. I'm like, fuck, this sounds great, and also the idea of a platform and adding new algorithms to it, and it being this sort of like evolving ecosystem of different effects was very appealing.
Yeah, I mean, I split my stuff up between like good, bad, ugly, and I put that one under ugly. Not because like I feel like the module is going to be bad. I just felt like the presentation was so bad that it kind of did not make me want to buy it. You know what I mean? I'm still going to hold out hope that it sounds better than those demos. But like, yeah, just whoever that guy was that was presenting it, I feel like didn't do a good job of talking about all that it's capable of, or doing like a decent sound demo. And his fucking nail polish, dude.
Wait,
So chipped.
what?
It was horrible. I was like, you're going to be doing demos of a module. The whole world's going to be staring at your hands, and you can't even put on like a fresh coat.
You know what? I take it back now because I didn't notice that.
Exactly.
Fucked
That's
up.
bullshit.
You see
Never
what I'm saying,
mind.
dude?
No, I
Foul under ugly. Sorry.
seriously, I can't believe I missed that.
Invalid module.
Yeah.
Invalidates anything positive about the module when you're looking at someone's chipped, cracked fingernail polish, Dave.
But in any case, yeah, I have high hopes for this. And,
What's their main like? So I didn't see this from when they were selling it. So it's like a platform. What does it come with though? That's like different because they usually have an angle, and that's almost like a
Yeah.
little bland for them. Is it like spin DSP or whatever? The FV.
It comes with 3 algorithms that you can bounce between.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
reverb, delay, and comb.
Comb. Okay,
Comb is
now
the
I
other
remember
one.
this.
Yeah.
Which I like my comb filter, especially after the Bionic Lister. It was like open new doors for me in that regard,
Come to the land of comb filters.
Yeah. Before I was always like, so about them, but now I'm kind of using them more. And it would be fun to be able to bounce between like reverb, delay, comb,
Yeah.
using CV.
Oh, like BIA mode switching kind of stuff.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, exactly. You can do that, which had me interested. And I guess you could probably program any 3 effects to do that with bounce between
Now
3
I'm
different modes.
intrigued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other ones that they had were less exciting to me, and it seemed like there was a similar idea, and it's the Vertiter, which is going to be a similar sort of like oscillator platform, which I don't know.
Okay.
It seemed like a cool idea, but
Oh, other modules. I thought you meant other modes.
Oh,
already
no,
presented
sorry,
for
well,
that
other mod-
platform.
yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
They're releasing a stereo oscillator, which didn't seem to have too many bells or whistles aside from the fact that it's stereo and that you could reprogram it essentially.
Yeah, and then the other one was that MIDI converter,
Yeah.
which was
I don't understand why they made that.
I mean, are they maybe going towards a full system
system.
someday?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the only
I
thing I
can
can
see
see why you would add to that already very crowded like it.
I guess there are two camps of people, and I know which one we fall in, but there are some people that do want, like, I want a full system by one manufacturer, which when I think about it, it's like, oh, that's like the antithesis of why.
I was gonna say it kind of defeats the purpose of going modular in my opinion.
It is funny though, because like I've played shows where people come up afterwards and asked me, like, "Oh, is this a make noise system?"
Right.
And I'm like, no. Like,
Say yes.
Yeah.
and I've said like no, like I've got like a make noise module and all that. And the second I said no, they just walked away.
That was just their awkward way of asking if you were Alessandro Cortini. They're like, oh shit, is that him? Go up and see if he has a make noise system.
Oh my god, he's so much fatter than I thought he would be.
So, just jumping off that for some off-topic shit. Cortini apparently showed off the Overstayer modular channel in a video 2 weeks ago.
I watched it. I forgot to
I
tell
didn't
you
see
about it.
It's in the video for all of 5 seconds. Saw multiple people commenting on the Overstayer thread about how they're going to buy one now.
What? From
Yeah.
that? Dude,
From
did
that.
nothing with it.
Yeah. No, I don't get it, dude. Anything that dude touches, people will buy because he said it was cool. Yeah. I'm like, that is what sold you. That 5-second clip in that video where he's running a fucking 808 through it. But yeah, I don't know. Just not to veer off topic of NAMM, but that just blew my mind. Like, back on track. Oh yeah, I was gonna say the reverb of the noise engineering one. I don't know how I felt about the sound of it. You know what I mean? Like, aside from the crappy like static demo that he gave, like I was trying to get a feel for like the character of the reverb, and I don't think they showed off the delay or the comb.
So the one demo I saw, I think they did go over the comb, and I think it was I don't remember which one it was.
I'll have to check out a few more then, because I just saw that very first demo. It was like the first one they did, and it was just like static. But it seemed like the reverb had a very like shimmer quality to it.
They say that there's like that's kind of what one of the things they were going for was shimmer. Like if you look at their text blurb for it actually includes like shimmer as one of the words. I didn't hate it though.
Personally, I'm not too into shimmer.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping they would go for like a dirtier, like 80s, like.
I feel like I got that base
Plate.
covered though.
Yeah,
is the thing.
I mean,
That's
I
why I
have it
don't need
covered in a
another
lot.
one of those. And I like the idea of having like their take on shimmer is appealing to me.
Sure.
I can see that. Yeah, I do. I mean, I like shimmer, but I have like one thing that does it, and that's all I ever need it for. You know, and I don't use it all the time because it's so particular, that sound.
And I was real disappointed with the Sean Costello shimmer card for ZDSP.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like I basically never end up using it, and I was really looking forward to it. And it didn't click with me.
I thought the card was good, but it just made me realize that I don't like shimmer that much.
Right.
It's like, you know what I mean? I was like, I hear other people use it, and I'm like, yeah, well, that's shimmer, but it's never something that I'm like, yeah, I need that in my sound. Like,
Right.
I don't understand the use for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's such a particular, like, distinct thing that it's
Yeah.
not that versatile, you know?
Like, I wouldn't use that on drums. I wouldn't want it on my drones. Like, drones, I usually go for more of a slow chorus, like dark tone. You know what I mean? I don't know. Something that's all shimmery and like pitch shifting. It sounds neat, but it's just, I don't know what the fuck I would use it for.
Say you have like a Mother 32 and rings and braids and a cactus, you better get some goddamn shimmer on
It's
that
gotta
shit.
have that shimmer verb, yeah.
How else
layers
you gonna make a
of
video?
shimmering
No one's watching that shit.
Fluctuations, yeah.
It's got to be like a cloudy day.
Yeah, but
Maybe
a little
some rain.
sun, like
Yeah,
a little sun
just a little
peeks
bit.
through.
Well, I will get this, and then we can tear it apart later.
You can be
sounds
the early adapter this
and you can
time.
be like, you were right all along.
Okay.
But stereo in, stereo out. I don't know. I still have hope.
Stereo in's a nice touch.
Yeah.
Considering all the new tip-top ones are not, for whatever fucking reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Z5000 and all that stuff, echoes, it's all mono in. I'm like, why?
Yeah, Dark Matter is also mono in. It's just surprising. Like, why would you not have?
You surprised by that?
Well, the dark matter, not as much, but any other effects processor
Yeah.
that's modern anymore, it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Anything in the last year, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because there was like the idea that Eurorack and this system was mono was persisted for a pretty long time.
Yeah.
Times have changed, though, for sure.
Yeah. Especially for like time-based effects, you know. If it's a distortion, of course, it's probably going to be mono, maybe. But, you know, that being said, stereo is pretty awesome, too.
And you're not necessarily going to be coming from a mono oscillator anymore. That's
Yeah,
changed. Yeah,
that's also true.
So I
Yeah.
think like everyone should just get on fucking board.
Tip Top's being stubborn. If you want that stereo, you got to get that ZDSP.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Happy Nerding effects aid is gonna do circles around all those new Tip Tops. Personally,
Do you have that?
it's still not available in the
still-
States, dude. Like I've been waiting for months. Analog Haven got in like a dozen of them last week, and they sold out like in an hour.
Yeah.
And they said there's gonna be another batch, but he's the sole reseller for stateside.
You know who didn't fuck up like that? Paul.
No, he did not. He wasn't at NAMM, was he? I didn't see any videos of him.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he usually calls it Namthrax. Or, gets Namthrax there, so I bet he would avoid it.
Plus,
Smart choice.
I assume he's very busy now.
Yeah, he's cracking away,
gotta be.
Yeah.
making them Hyperions.
Next on my tier of mildly interesting things that I'm only mildly interested in is the Behringer 100M. It's their 100, well, whatever they're calling their Roland 100M clone ripoffs, but they have the voice module that's like VCO, VCF, and VCA.
Mm-hmm.
And
It looked good.
they said they're
Yeah.
going to be 50 or $100, and I'm like, I'll try that one. I'm still like so bitter, like I can't get fired up about their shit, but I'll try that one. I want System 100M shit, but I'm definitely not going to pay for the real thing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the System 100 has always been appealing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's like a giant blown out 101, you know?
Exactly.
Like, back in the day before I started my modular, that's what I contemplated buying. Someone was selling one for like, it was like it wasn't all of it, obviously, but it was like a chunk of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. I was like, I want that.
It's got the juice, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like everything I've heard, it's like, that fucking sounds good.
Yeah. I like the interface of it, you know, classic Roland.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The sound was always good, but
I'm still worried about it's a $50 oscillator.
yeah, that's the
it's-
thing. I don't have a lot of faith that
not gonna
Behringer's
track.
recreating the System 100 sound. I mean, it definitely looks like some of them,
Yeah.
but I need to hear more demos.
But I
before
never got
trust it.
like super fired up about the Maleco clones when I heard them. Like it
Yeah.
sounded like kind of there, and I think I played with it at KnobCon once, but I never like, and they were like kind of pricey too. So it was like,
Yeah, they
have
were
to-
kind of expensive.
Yeah.
It was meant to be more like a boutique type thing instead
Yeah.
of like a cheap recreation, which is, I guess, understandable.
if I remembered, you would have to spend like $900 to put a voice together and that shit, and that was just like, ugh.
That's one reason why I've always enjoyed a lot of the IntelliGel stuff is that a lot of it is modeled, not sound wise, but function wise, like after the classic Roland stuff, like their dual envelope generators and
Totally,
the Metropolis and Atlantis, all that shit.
this is true.
It just didn't have that sound though, unfortunately.
You know what I still kind of miss sometimes though? Varigate 8. Every
Yeah,
so
so
often
do I.
I just want it in there for
Yeah.
a patch. And then I know I wouldn't use it every day, but that was a cool one.
I was literally just thinking that yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of missed it. I was going through my old pictures of on my Imgur site where
Yeah.
I host like all the stuff that I put for sale, and put in the muff threads or whatever. And I saw that and I was like, I kind of miss that thing now. Like, couldn't remember why I sold it. And then I remember I sold it when I got the Vector, I guess. I was like, okay, this is
Yeah.
doing all the sequencing I need. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it'd be nice to just punch something in on the,
But you know what I got instead of Hydrasynth?
hell yeah.
Yes. Wait, do you want to talk about the Hydrasynth?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Because that's not really NAMM specific.
Yeah, they were
Before we
there.
dive into the hardware of Hydrasynth, I just want to say that the interviews that those guys did at NAMM were fucking fantastic.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Every fucking interview. I was like, if I didn't already own this thing, I would be buying it because you're selling me on it like all over again with like every interview. They just all seemed so fucking genuine about their
Totally.
product and like just always had a lot of interesting things to say about it. But
Yeah, like the designer dude seems cool, and the two engineers were obviously like super knowledgeable, and just how open they were to like, oh yeah, we were gonna clone some filters, and then dude was like, I'm just gonna make a machine learning model of all these different types of cool filters, and it's like, what the fuck? It's a good idea, and
Yeah.
it does. It sounds really fucking good, but yeah, Hydrasynth, you had the keyboard.
had
You
it,
swapped for the desktop.
had it
I've
for
got the
24
desktop.
hours. Yeah.
Yeah, we were both on that shit pretty quickly.
The keyboard was just too damn big. It,
Yeah.
Like within a day, I found myself really enjoying like the ribbon controller and stuff and the extra knobs. But then I was like, the more I learned it over the course of like the short 24 hours that I had it, I was like, I don't need these extra knobs. Actually, I'd rather have the more desk space available. So
What did the extra knobs give you? Literally just more knobs?
yeah, like
Okay. But you already have 8 to begin with the desktop.
More, it's 11.
I thought it was 8 that were context sensitive.
Oh, yeah. You get the 8 soft knobs, and the other ones are ARP and then filter.
Gotcha.
So you get like more ARP knobs on the keyboard.
You get the ratcheting features are brought up to knobs, but I found that I was just using the soft knobs anyways for it.
Right.
Like as soon as you touch anything that has to do with like the ARP engine, those are right there on the menu anyways. So
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'll get the desktop instead. So hit up my Sweetwater sales rep, said, hey buddy, sending this back your way.
That
Give me
thing
a
must
desktop.
have been fucking heavy as fuck, because the desktop version is the heaviest desktop.
I
since,
could
like,
barely
ever.
bring it into the FedEx to ship it back. Like I was sick and it was freezing cold. I had gloves on. This thing was like slipping out of my hands. I was like, please don't break this thing. And, like the guy's just standing behind the counter watching me trying to like open the door with my foot as I'm like trying to drag this big ass synth in there. But yeah, sent that thing on back. 100-pound beast.
Yeah, it's burly. It's definitely over-engineered. It feels sturdy as shit. Nothing about it feels cheap. Pretty impressed, with the build quality. Obviously the sound, but like the editing of it, it's so fucking awesome. Obviously the mod matrix, so they were super inspired by the Oberheim expander, and I guess most of them had one at one point. It has like kind of the same editing and soft knob shit, which I never had an expander. I remember Rudeman had one forever. I never really played with it. But you can do cool shit, like if you're at the modulators on the little selector thing, you can just hold an LFO and then hit oscillator, and it takes you right to the mod matrix. That kind of shit is cool. And remember, I was showing it to you the other day, Dave, and I was like, oh, it's weird. Like, so it's got these 2 oscillator modes. There's like just oscillator with wavetable shit, and then there's wave scan, where you can make like your own morph between waves. And I was telling you, like, oh, you gotta like edit all 8 of them, and you got to fill them all out, or like if you only put 2 right next to each other, 1 and 2, it only gives you like a little bit of the knob turn to like scan through it. But if you hold shift, I found out, and then hit the wavetable, it'll start to line all the different wavetables up in order. So if there's like horizon 1 through 8, and then the way they break it up on there, if you just hold that shift button and move it over, then it starts to pull everything like through that array. So it automatically lines up all the things that relate to each other on the knobs, and you can just sweep through that shit. And I saw that, and I was like, that's fucking smart.
There's a way to make a random array too if you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forget how to do it off the top of my head, but yeah, you can make like your own random array that you can morph through now.
Nice.
Yeah.
And there's oscillators, and then you have these 2 mutant modes on the first 2 or 3, and that lets you do stuff like linear FM. So it's almost like almost a function of the oscillator, not the oscillator itself. So you're like applying oscillator sync to this oscillator. It doesn't care what type it is. You're applying like linear FM to an oscillator that could be a wavetable or a square or whatever. The pulse width, though, it's the same as like the wave scan, where you can have like, you can design how it pulse widths it. And so you get like, you go to this edit menu, you get the 8 soft knobs for the different pulse width values, and then you can modulate each one of those knobs. So you can modulate in real time a pulse width that has 8 different points on the waveform, and you can modulate all those individually. So they went deep on the sound engine.
Yeah, you can do some serious sound design on this thing.
Yeah.
More so than I anticipated.
Same.
You know.
It seems like you can always kind of push it into a different little territory. Because at first, when you look at the oscillator, you're like, oh, that's less parameters than like a complex Euro oscillator.
Right.
But it's really like the way those mutant things work, and then all the modulation, and the fact that it sounds like really good when you modulate that shit. Like, it's really like, it all works together very well. I mean, it should, but it's like, feels very cohesive the way the stuff interacts. And it feels like you can keep pushing it in different territories. It's pretty cool.
And everything, at least you were demonstrating to me, seemed musical. Is everything geared towards being musical, or can you make things that are just
You can fuck
chaos?
It up.
You can fuck it up. Okay.
You can definitely push it. Like, because it's got effects, and we were talking, well, at least I was like, it doesn't have distortion. And Greg's like, I don't need that anyway, which I was like, yeah, that makes sense after the fact. But the filter distortion is really cool, and that lets you kind of open up like a lot of different colors. So that kind of satisfied me. I'm like, oh, I can overdrive this, and you've got the tons of different filter types, so that gives you like a lot of room, and you get 2 filters, and you can change the routing. And I think we were all fooled by the fact that, and maybe that was even on a podcast, but I thought it was like multi-timbral. Thought you got like 8 layers of voices if you wanted, but it's really just one voice up to 8-note poly.
Right. I think we said on the previous episode that it was multi-voice, but it turns out it's not.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure why we all thought that.
Yeah.
I swore it was said that somewhere. Maybe I just misunderstood the write-up, or maybe that has changed since it's gone into production, but maybe that's something they'll add later.
Yeah, maybe because I remember I got it and like hit the voice button in the upper right. And I was like, oh, it's going to let me. It's like, no, it doesn't do anything at all like that. It just lets you like tune the voice basically. So that being said, I still fucking super dig it.
Yeah.
I saw somebody did a pretty good comparison of that in the Kyra from Waldorf. They're like, oh, I had both for a period of time. And they kept talking about how editing the Kyra was kind of a fucking nightmare. Like we were talking about. They're like, yeah, you just never, it seems like totally awkward the way you've got to edit this thing. And it's like everything's kind of disconnected in all these like different menus. And I was like, cool. I don't fucking want that at all. I really just want a Blofeld with multi-mode where it has discrete effects on each channel. If they could have made that, that would be no-brainer. But yeah, I would say I'm compared to, sold my Minilog XD to help fund the Hydrasynth, and they're like pretty close, like $150 difference, and I think the Hydrasynth just fucking blows it out of the water. I kind of hated the Minilog XD, just the way it sounded. No low end either.
You were fired up when we did the podcast review of it, though.
I'm always fired up initially.
Yeah.
It's true. And then but I realized with that thing is like when I tried to, I would play it by itself and be like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. And then when I try to make music with it, I was like, I can't get to where I want to go. And I took the Blofeld out and swapped it out. And like that, I was like, oh shit, I'm getting everything I need. And that's when I put the Minilog in the box. And I was like, oh, I'll figure this out. And then when I wanted the Hydrasynth was when I was like, I'm going to fucking sell it.
All the demos were pretty good. Like not just the interviews, but the demos at NAMM too. Like Mylar Melodies did one. And one of his friends did another one. It was like Mylar was kind of jamming out, doing like, wavetable techno jams with it on the desktop. And then there was another video of his friend next to him who was doing more like key stuff on the keyboard version, like pads and drones and stuff. And it was like cool to see both, territories being explored.
Totally.
And they were just doing stuff on the fly, you know what I mean? And they were both coming up with like interesting results. So I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, on the desktop version, they did get the pads really right. Like the aftertouch works well and the velocity's awesome. I've been using that to program the MIDI box and it's fucking great. It works perfectly.
I haven't been touching them too much. I've been sequencing it with the modular.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't like tried to play it or really mess with the pads too much. Just been sending it sequences.
I was actually wanting to score a pyramid again just for the pads and the Hydrasynth, like... I don't want it anymore now because that has the pads that are even better than the pyramid, and I can just point those to the MIDI box, and that's what I wanted anyway.
Nice. So how about that 2600? And no, I'm not talking about the Atari game console.
Or the Hacker
Quarterly magazine. Yeah. Damn it, Dave. You're one step ahead of my joke.
But which 2600 are you talking about? Because I hear there are two.
I'm talking about both.
Let's
talk about the official one first.
The Korg one?
Yeah. The Carp 26.
Yeah. I liked my Carp Odyssey. That's one that I kind of was into, but maybe wasn't for me. But it was solid. It fucking sounded good.
So, do you want to get a Carp 2600?
Nah.
Good.
Well, good.
Because
it
ain't happening. Apparently,
no shit.
They're only making like 100 of them.
Oh,
yeah.
Fuck that.
And like people are getting refunded already. And like people that told they made the list are now being refunded and being too bad,
That's whack.
Yeah. So super limited. No idea why. And because, I mean, clearly the demand is there.
Yeah.
Like people got pretty excited about this. And, but yeah, super limited. $4,000 price tag, which I think is right on par with like the TTSH remakes. I mean, those weren't full size, but they were pretty good in my opinion. And so
I might even prefer that, something a little
a little more compact. Right. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing, but after seeing like how much of a pain in the ass it's going to be to get one and the price tag and all that, I've rolled that out completely. But looks awesome. I can't believe someone's finally doing like a full size accurate remake of it. So obviously Behringer is going to be there to swoop in on the all the brokenhearted, rejected people who aren't getting one of the real deals. They still haven't announced the price for the Behringer version, or like an ETA. All they did was release a couple of those videos during NAMM with what's his name, Rob Keeble, the guy from AMS,
Right.
or AM Sense rather.
Yeah.
They did like 2 video interviews with him talking about it and showing it off a little bit, but they didn't say anything about price or when it's expected to come out. He didn't really hint at anything like that. He just said like he came into the process halfway through when like the prototype was in really rough form. And they brought him in to like whip it into shape and make it sound good. And I didn't have any faith in it until I saw it was him. You know what I mean? And now I'm like, okay. I was like, maybe this will actually sound good. It's compact. It's rack mountable. You can throw it in like a 19-inch mixer rack. You could like put it under the table if you wanted, you know, anywhere where it would fit. It doesn't seem to come with a keyboard or speakers, which I'm totally fine with. But it looked all right. Looked like a rave machine with all the crazy LEDs, but he showed that like you can dim those to the point where you can actually turn them completely off if you want.
Oh,
so
cool.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, so it can just be completely dark, just all sliders. I'm a little interested in it. You know what I mean? Like
If he was involved, like we were saying, that bodes well. He's been cloning that shit forever.
And
a lot of vintage filters and all that, and doing an accurate job with it.
And the Korg is just not going to be obtainable. So
it'll be obtainable, but for like 4 times the fucking price on Reverb, I'm sure for $20 grand.
Yeah.
That's the question now is, what's your guess? I've got my guess. We can make a prediction right now. I'm going to go for it. 1 year, $1,000. It'll take them a full year to do it, and it'll cost $1,000.
I don't think they can do it for $1,000. I think it's going to be $1,500.
$1,500?
That's my guess is $1,500. Just there's too much going on.
I could see that.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think you're both. I would agree with that. Somewhere between 1 to 15.
Yeah.
You got to say a fucking number. Put your fucking money down.
$12.99.
$12.99.
That's my final bid, Dave.
All right. So we edged you up in true like Price is Right style.
Right, yeah.
So your window is short.
$1.
Yeah,
$1.
$9.99.
Yeah, I think $12.99.
I don't know what anybody wins, but probably not one of those.
But even $12.99 would actually. I think that would be fair if it sounded good.
What's their like? What do those DeepMind shits cost? Do you know?
They're like $400.
Oh,
Yeah, they're cheap, dude. They're like $3.99 or something like that. I forgot to mention the Behringer version comes with extra shit.
Oh,
It's not like a true 1-to-1 remake. It has 2 different selectable filter modes.
Oh, that is cool.
It has sync to OSC 2 and 3, and there's pulse width modulation, and it's
That's big.
duophonic. That's some of the stuff that Rob has added
Yeah, it's got
to
the
this version. Yeah,
pre and post lawsuit filters in it.
I thought that was a nice touch.
all right. So I've got some less than flattering things. We want to move to the less than flattering things.
I was gonna bring up 2 more things that I thought was good.
Two.
What you got? There aren't even
well-
that many things in the world that are good. So I don't know.
seriously.
These are towards the bottom of the list now, but still decent. While we're on the subject of overly priced old new shit, the Korg MS-20 remakes,
Oh, how much are they?
$1,400, which is about twice as much as I'd be willing to spend on a basic mono. I mean, I love the MS-20, and I was excited to see it, but that price was just like, fuck, like I could just get a Behringer at this point.
Why can't they just make it available? You know, like,
and that's the thing too. Like, it's that expensive and it's limited. It's a limited run. You have
What's
to.
with these limited runs?
No
This is-
idea.
I mean, I get
they're
the-
acting like there's no fucking demand for this. Like, people haven't been demanding this for 40 fucking years now. Like, I don't know.
Is it to like generate buzz and like create a sort of like artificial scarcity and like is it basically just building a mystique?
Maybe.
yeah.
This is the 3rd re-release they've done
Yeah.
of this synth. There was the Mini,
Yeah.
then there was the M desktop kit. Now there's these, and it's like clearly there's demand there. Like just fucking release them. Do a big old production run of them.
I mean, at this point, you could just always have them in production. I mean, it's something that you could just be making for a while.
Just flood the market with the desktop one with the mods.
Yeah.
It's like, that seems like that would cover it all.
This newest version doesn't even have the mods that the desktop does. Like, it lacks some of the stuff that the M has. Don't know why. Like, I got excited and I figured it'd be like all on there. Nope. But it comes in 4 optional colors.
I did see that.
Blue,
What are the colors?
Blue, green, black, and white. And the white does look dope. I can't deny.
Yeah.
Does it look like a stormtrooper?
It does.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful little box. I was like, man, that's like my dream, MS-20 right there, looking all shiny and white. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it is about synths in white, dude, but it's just like, it always grabs me.
Yeah.
Even my patch cables, Dave, they gotta be white.
I'm looking at them. I'm literally looking at them right now.
Gotta look like it's from a spaceship.
You know what though? Like, whenever you perform, they're not white because the lights and shit on the modular are changing them. They're not white when you're performing.
Oh, I know that, Dave.
I just want to make sure you know that's
And I
how
like
color
that.
works. Okay, light and color.
They reflect.
It reflects.
They do.
Yeah.
That's one reason why I've always liked white gear live, because it helps pick up all the colors and projections that are going on.
Whereas that blue MS-20 looks like shit.
Kind of does.
Yeah.
It looked like a fucking toy.
I saw that and I was like, what the fuck?
It's
Like,
a really
ones?
weird color.
Green one? Okay.
It's not like,
Oh, I gotta look this up.
I don't know, it's not like an a SHO1 blue. It was
No.
kind of like
It's like a royal. It's like,
Yeah.
it doesn't. It's a blue a synthesizer should not be.
a icing on a cake type of blue. I don't know. It was strange. But I was excited, and then I wasn't. Once I saw it lacked some of the mods and the price tag was a little steep.
So we were right. This didn't belong on the good list.
I mean, it's good, but it's...
The fuck are you doing?
It's not something I'm going to be getting, probably. You know what I mean?
It's like a frustrating tease good.
Yeah.
This is good, but it's actually bad.
It's good because the synth's coming back out again. It's the type of synth that is like, I think, the perfect synthesis learning tool. Like, I would love to see an MS-20 in like every fucking kid's music classroom or library. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
they made the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had that big one.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of cool that it's coming out. People will be able to get these again, things like that. But yeah, I'm not going to shell out $1,400 to own one, but I'm kind of glad that it exists.
Maybe it'll knock a few desktop mod ones loose because somebody always wanted a full size
A
one.
couple already popped up on the market because I was paying attention, and but the fact that they're popping up is cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Even if it's at an inflated price. And I've tried to pay attention to the prices of those for a while. They seem to fluctuate widely. Like, I guess it depends on what people think they're worth.
Yeah, like that Korg Wave State seems like it tanked the prices of the Minilog XD because I was trying to sell that and like I dropped like the overall reverb price by a certain amount just because I went under this one dude and then everybody else like
Right on the
dropped it
bottom.
too, and then
Got
the Wave
real
State came
competitive.
out and it was like, ugh. Finally got it out there though. But yeah,
Nice.
that thing I don't really get it. Well,
The Wave State, you mean?
it's a new wave station, right? Exactly. I'm not like I used to use the VST a bit. I would still use it if I had to, but I did it for like 2 sounds, and I'm not gonna like program that thing.
I did like the little onboard sequencer functions that it had. It looked kind of cool.
Yeah, the way you
could
can
do some like polyrhythmic stuff with it
Yeah.
and things like that. I thought that was a nice touch.
There's probably people out there that are really fired up for
Yeah,
it.
there are. For me, like I saw it and I couldn't. It was like hard to read the details. I was so bored by it, just looking at it, And I felt bad. And I was like, "Oh, you should like this," but it's like I don't even want to fucking look at it.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the other thing that was on my list. That was
Is
decent.
this also good, or
Yeah.
your version of good that's not really good?
Well, I mean, I didn't want to file that under ugly or bad. Well, this one I think is definitely good. Twisted-Electrons MegaFM.
Oh, the Sega FM chip one.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, that
Was that
Yes.
YM something chip?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
It, I think I jotted down I can never remember the number either. That's why I jotted
that was
it.
awesome.
The YM 2612 FM chip.
Yeah, the Genesis chip.
Yes,
right?
yes. Found in the Mega Drive and the Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they both used that chip.
Mhm.
I didn't realize that.
You're talking about the original Mega Drive, or because what was the
Yeah, because the Master System was
Master
the US
System
version.
Yeah.
of the Mega
Okay. So
Drive.
there was the Master System, and then the Mega Drive, the Genesis. What was the Japanese version of the Genesis?
Was there one?
I think
Wait,
it had a different
Was
name.
that the Mega Drive?
Yes, that's why I'm getting confused.
the Master System.
Master System was the US 8-bit Nintendo competitor.
Right.
Yeah. Which like nobody had.
No, it didn't do well.
Yeah, the Mega Drive was the Genesis.
Really?
Yes.
It's the same thing.
I'm looking at the Sega Genesis Wikipedia page. That's why. Sorry, I did not need to be a pedant about this.
No, dude.
But
You're the expert. Put me in my place. I have to confess, I was an Atari/Nintendo fanboy. I never owned a Sega system until Saturn.
Oh, you picked a good place to pick it up. I love my Saturn. I love my Saturn and my Dreamcast.
Saturn was nice, but it was
Yeah.
short-lived. I phased it out quickly for a PlayStation 1.
That was probably wise.
My favorite game on Saturn was the Alien Trilogy game. It was fucking amazing, dude. That was one of the best console FPSs I ever played. Like, GoldenEye came out later and kind of stole the show, but I feel like the Alien Trilogy game was way underrated, ahead of its time.
I played it. It was great. Yeah, it was spooky.
It's like no one knew it existed, you
Yeah.
know? But yeah, you have to run around, fuck up face huggers and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, it was good. But anyways,
Yes. Yes.
the Mega FM, very very nice little box. It kind of offers everything that I feel like the Digitone didn't offer me, and that's mainly hands-on control.
Right.
It's got 32 sliders, 14 knobs, 15 buttons, 6 voices, 4 operators per voice, 8 algorithms, 7-mode arpeggiator engine, preset randomizer, very nice, 3 LFOs, which is a little lacking, but
Oh, see, that I don't know that. I mean, with all the shit they got on there already, it's a nice touch, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
a lot going on there on a little box, and it's estimated to cost $525 USD.
That's a good price. The Korg OP6 looked kind of cool, but it's so prototype at this point
Yeah.
that there aren't many details. But
Missed that completely.
that's looks like a DX7 kind of clone from Korg. But it's like FM, but it's got a bunch of sliders on it too.
Oh
which
yeah,
bodes well.
I remember looking at it for like a split second,
Yeah, because there's
and
like
then I saw the Mega FM, and I was like,
hello.
yeah.
But I've always wanted a knobbier DX7, and who hasn't? Like something that's a little more fun to program than one slider and a bunch of buttons. But we'll see.
The DX200 had a lot of awesome stuff and a lot of improvements over it, but still also has a lot of faults.
Yeah, they could remake that. I don't get like there's got to be something between the Volca FM and like a big ass keyboard that's like fucking huge. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
because
they
they tried it with the reface. There was a DX7 reface that they did.
Yeah.
Which
And
you tried
it
at
sucked.
NobCon,
Yeah,
and
it-
you,
I-
you,
oh,
you
yeah,
walked
I
away
hated that
shaking
thing.
your
I
head.
was like, no. And the thing was, I wasn't being like an asshole, but I was like, I want to like this. I want to walk away with one. I was like, no, I could not fucking get into it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a terrible, they just did everything fucking wrong with it. So yeah, they just were like, okay, DX200, fix a couple of things that were wrong with it. Surface, the last bit that they didn't surface, and just sell that. I think it would be huge. I think people would get on
Yeah.
this board. Yeah.
With some interface that wasn't some like fucking things you have to push with your thumb. It's like, am I masturbating the synth right now? Like it doesn't. That's
Massaging
frustrating
its
as shit.
prostate. Gotta make it come.
We were just describing the Mega FM. It's gonna make you come. Holy shit.
Hopefully that's what ends up on the box. So wait, do you have any more good in quotes there, Craig?
Like something really
No.
good.
Like actually good?
Nope, that was it.
The only thing I could even talk about is the dark matter, and I've only put like an hour into it right now or two, which I fucking like it a lot. But
Oh, same here. Yeah. That was something I wanted to, so I recently got a dark matter, and you got a dark matter as well.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's more than just a feedback machine, which we talked about, and you've talked about this in the past also,
Little bit,
Greg,
yeah.
is the idea of you can create feedback without special modules. I wouldn't need it. If that's all it was doing, this module would be, you wouldn't need it.
Yeah.
But all of the relationship between the EQ and the feedback, like the amount that you're giving it, being able to send the feedback out to get processed and come back in, and CV over even just the dry and like the feedback amount.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's fucking amazing. So my question is, Greg, I know you had a dark matter for a while.
Yes.
What were you not stoked on?
Yeah, it's been burning me too. I'm like, what the fuck did he not like about it?
It wasn't a matter of not liking it. It just felt redundant. It was when I was trying to downsize everything.
Yeah.
Like I was pretty much just using it for feedback routing, which I can already do with some of the mixers that I got. And the distortion was cool and the EQ functions, but I also had that already too at the time. Like I was I had multiple Polarises that I was routing feedback through, bandpass filters to control like the frequencies of it. I also had the surge resonant EQ, which I was using a lot for feedback processing. So I just felt like I had too much going on to do that, and it wasn't like the cheapest module, and it was reselling for pretty much what it cost new. So I figured I should just flip it and not look back. But now that I'm going for like an even more compact setup and hearing you guys talk about it again, I'm kind of eyeballing it again. Instead of using all of my filters and mixers to process the feedback, it would be nice to have all in one solution. And then there was just I just kind of felt like cheating with it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I felt like I didn't want an all-in-one solution. I was like, I'd rather come up with this super elaborate, overly complicated process to do it. And now I'm looking the other way. I'm like, that's stupid. I don't need to dedicate all these modules to do feedback. So yeah, anything that's a shortcut is kind of like coming back in favor for me. So yeah, it wasn't that I wasn't stoked on it. It just, I had a lot of redundancy there and I felt it was an unneeded purchase. So I tried to flip it quickly.
I was impressed with the amount of variety that it has when I got it. I was like, this is going to do like two things, and I'm expecting it to do it kind of well, but it's I was surprised how far you could push things in the way, like we were saying, like the different pieces kind of duck each other at points. And like I was just running like a 8th note or 16th note hi-hat into it and turned it into very quickly into like, all right, these are some really good full low gabber kicks. Yeah. And it was like, okay, you can really like sculpt the shit out of this. And it's not just like a little bit of saturation that you can feedback. It's more like you can really take some shit to crazy territories. And CVing everything is just like, fuck. That's when it kind of hooked me.
Yeah, because even like when I first got it, like I knew running gabber kicks through it was,
Essential.
Yeah, that's my go-to. But I even was like what would happen if I just did like a simple sine? Like what could I do with the simple sine oscillator? And within 10 minutes, it was mutated all over the place. And now this is a completely different signal. It's gone from like the most boring signal you can possibly get to something that's going nuts. And then I unplugged that and then put in something from the graphic VCO and then something from Localic. And then like I just started jamming all this different stuff. I'm like, everything just took on these new life. So it was like, it just basically doubled. I felt like it was doubling everything. Like, here's everything without dark matter, and now here's everything with dark matter.
That's funny you say that, because I took I was doing some drum work and I was like, cool, that's crazy. And then I was like, I'll just take it out from the voltage lab, from the Pittsburgh voltage lab, and put it in there. And it was like, holy fuck. First off, the complex oscillator and the feedback stuff was like interacting really well. And it was almost like, I kind of just want one of these just to put at the end of this all the time. So it definitely sounds good on just like regular oscillator and synth tones, which I was impressed with. Kind of, I didn't know if it was just going to be like, you're just going to smash this kind of thing or what, but it's pretty damn varied.
Agreed.
You guys think you're going to get the waiver?
I don't know.
The new one that was just announced?
Before I got the dark matter, I probably have been like, that's interesting, but blow it off as like another wave folder, wave shaper thing. But since it's Casper and Bastl who made the dark matter, my interest in everything they're doing now has gone through the roof.
Agreed.
The only thing about the waiver, I'm like there's just not a lot of good information about it yet. Is the only bummer. I'm like, I really want to get excited about it now that I'm fired up for that combo. I wish there was more data on it.
One thing I noticed is it didn't have any like pin headers on the back of the waiver when I saw it, because the dark matter's got a bunch of shit on the back where it's like, this seems like it's built to interact with some expanders or something. And if they would have made a waiver that was built to hook up with that, just as like a behind the panel, feedback loop send, that would have been like kind of a no-brainer almost. To be like, this is an expansion of that with wave folding. Sweet.
Yeah.
I just know that wave shaping feedback is good stuff. I think the two would go together like fucking peas and carrots.
I've remembered that I had my microfold and immediately was like, oh shit, you're now interesting again.
Right. So
brought that back up.
So imagine
you know?
this: your patches that you're already very excited with, that you're developing with dark matter, like you're saying on the complex OSC. Imagine getting that together and then routing the feedback out of dark matter through waver and then back in.
Yeah.
And now you're mutating the mutated feedback. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think the two would be a good pair. It does seem odd that they didn't make it an expansion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But maybe they thought it just it stands on its own 2 feet too. I guess I don't know.
I got cables. I can route it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, but that would have made it all the more enticing to just have that fucking everything just connected in the back. But
And like you said too, like I immediately was looking into the Casper dude. I'm like, oh, I haven't researched this guy. I know about Bastl a little, and the more I saw like his live set shit and what he does, and like he's kind of more like us in that he's kind of like doing like just few pieces of hardware on a desktop all fucked up and gabbery. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like you're on the level. And obviously your design is like, yeah, you want this thing because I'm sure you use the fuck out of it. You know, it's not just like something that you made for vanity.
Yeah, he didn't create it just to try and sell something. He created it because it was something he needed. You know what I mean? Like he wanted, like we were just saying, he wanted to shortcut the process so you don't have to dedicate half your rack to feedback processing. You can have an all-in-one solution. It's something he wanted for performing. You know, he basically built it for himself, and then he wanted to perfect it before selling it. Like it took him, I think, a year of like perfecting the prototypes till it was at the point that he was comfortable with selling it. Yeah. Huh. And like hearing him talk about saturation and feedback, I'm like, this dude fucking gets it. You know what I mean? He, like, there's a lot of people out there, I think, who make saturation and stuff who don't get it. They're just, you know, I don't know.
Here's a question I have for both of you. What distortions do you think sound similar to that? Because I got that module and I was like, holy shit, this is like kind of a distortion sound I've been going for a while, whatever it was doing. Trashmaster.
Very similar to the op amp in that. Especially with the filter, because you can get like, you know, you can route the filter and Trashmaster like through that distortion unit. So then you got like a squelchy bandpass filter kind of going through it. So it's like a narrow bandwidth type of thing that you're hitting that op amp with and then saturating it. So you're not blowing it out full frequency. Right. Fine tune. Yeah. Trashmaster reminded me of it a lot.
And they're stereo too, right? Trashmaster? No.
It looks like it is, but it's just you got your filter in out. And then your saturation in out, and they're normaled, so you can go in filter, out saturation, or in saturation, out filter, or have what I like to do.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, or like, and see, that's another reason why I sold the Dark Matter, because I was using Trashmaster a lot in feedback processing too, because you can have like the clean filter out going into other things for feedback modulation or routing. And then you have your saturated signal going out. You know what I mean? So like, I had a lot of stuff that was kind of covering that territory, but I also had multiple Trashmasters back then. I only have one currently, so I've downsized a little bit. And it's now I can't really just dedicate my Trashmaster to feedback if I, you know what I mean? So
yeah, because I couldn't answer that question because I don't think anything sounds like it. Because I'm even thinking like the Straka doesn't have that, the Crystal stuff doesn't have it. Even the old like Spectral Devastator that I had, just this is a unique sound. Like I'm not getting it out of anything else.
It's a very warm, grimy.
Yeah. That's the shit I try to get out of other stuff. And I think like the analog heat gets kind of close to that, but a little different.
A lot of the other stuff I have has like an icier tone.
Yeah.
Which I love, but I think that's another reason why I'm excited about this. This is not replicating anything that I have. This is a pretty unique sound I'm getting out of it, which I'm stoked on.
It's kind of like a
2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I don't know what amps are in Dark Matter, but it sounds very much like a tube screamer type of circuit.
Agree.
Yeah.
All right, I have more stuff.
Yeah, I have a few bad things.
I have a couple of bad things too. I'm gonna go with the next bad thing.
I'm curious if we have some of the same thing.
I bet there's a little bit of overlap. My first bad one is Doepfer has a new product.
Yeah. I have that under ugly, not bad actually. But
I have it under bad. Because did you see him, Dieter, using it?
I did.
It's like a ball thing.
It's a 10-minute fucking video of him explaining the joystick.
It's a joystick, but it also twists. So there's another dimension to it. And then there's a button at the top.
And you just summed it up in 10 seconds instead of 10 minutes.
Someone wants that?
Apparently.
Dieter thinks that they do. It is him trying to press the button. I think that's what, like, a lot of the video is him just trying to use it. It looked completely impractical as a joystick with a button. The twisting didn't really make sense. It's just basically like a pot on top of a joystick, and then just a much bigger, like the biggest HP joystick in the world, because it looks like an old like flight simulator joystick. Like, it is a substantial construction.
Looks like a giant dildo sticking out of a modular panel.
Yeah.
It's bulbous and phallic. I wrote in my notes here at the time that I was watching it, I'll be a monkey's uncle if it's not the ugliest thing I've ever seen sticking out of a modular rack, like some bulbous biomechanical dildo. Arousingly phallic.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's bad looking.
Yeah.
What the fuck was he thinking?
I don't know.
Ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, and he tried to talk about it for 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and I fell asleep.
The fact that he was having trouble, he's fumbling with the button.
Yes.
Like, because you don't even realize there's a button on the top when it starts out, because he's really excited about the twist. He's like, this is another dimension. And then it's
Sure.
like halfway through, he's like, oh, and there's a button at the top. Every aspect of it was impractical.
This looks like the most awkward thing ever.
Yeah.
Usually I find Dieter's interviews charming
Yeah.
and amusing, but this
It's a big, hard mess.
This video could cure my insomnia and get me aroused at the same time.
It's like putting a gate on top of a D-pad.
Yeah,
Like, why
yeah,
would you
yeah.
just put it next to it? Like,
And in the video, he's using the button to trigger an envelope, and then he's using the twist to lengthen the envelope, and he does that for 10 minutes. I'm glad you brought it up, because I almost forgot about it already. I just wanted to block it from memory.
It'll haunt your dreams.
What else you got there?
So I also have, and this is in comparison to what we were talking about earlier, the Frap Tools Benzo.
Don't have that one on there.
So it is a massive, massive oscillator. Like,
I remember seeing it was gigantic
It is
and
enormous.
circular in design.
yeah, there's a million knobs, a million jacks. My notes are, and I watched 2 different videos on it, because I was like, this first video, I just thought they fucked it up. I'm like, okay, they just didn't know what they were doing, or they just got there. Like, whoever's doing this presentation just didn't get it. This is much later, and it's a different presentation. My note, this is a lot of jacks and knobs for what is a thin, limp oscillator sound.
Yeah.
Like, I could not believe that much machination went into making this sound. Honestly, it seems like a joke. And they were earnest a while about it, and there was a lot of explanation. There was a lot of words to describe what went into it, and none of it seems reflected in the sound. Because it's not like the Rossoma simulator, which is another big giant.
Yeah.
And like, he's got like his presentation from, I forget what, like, it was like maybe Super Booth. Like, he's got PowerPoint presentations, all this like explanation for what it does, and it produces a really interesting sound. It's not something I'm fired up for, I'm not going to get, but there is a mapping of like, you had an idea, and it's a crazy idea, a lot of math, a lot of engineering, and then you created something that has all of this. This Benzo was like math and ideas and a lot of talking and just this weak ejaculation at the end of it. I was.
I kind of feel that way about all the Frap tool stuff. It's like all panel.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, but that just
was
looks
huge.
like hell to use.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of circular designs anyways. I think the only thing that I ever jived with was the Future Retro.
The Revolution.
Yeah. It was okay for being a circle. And even that bothered me then. I was like, I feel like I'm working a clock. You know what I mean? Just going fucking round and round. Like, there's so many more interesting symmetrical designs you could do for a panel layout than a fucking circle. It's like the most basic shape. Yeah.
I feel like I never had one, but I always felt like, man, my cats would be really into that. Like, they would just like chase it and go, oh, there it goes. It's going back around
again.
Going back.
I did have. I'm sorry. I actually had one more thing, and I didn't. Wait, what? No, I'm not.
I'm hoping it's the one that's at the top of my bad list.
Well, this is the last one I have, so we'll see if that's the
Okay.
case. The Pittsburgh Modular 4X delay line module.
Nope.
Yeah. What the fuck?
I did not look at that.
I saw
Actually,
it.
So it's a cool idea. So the idea is that it is a karaoke delay chip, and it's an array of them. And the idea was as they were designing, they realized these other BBD chips, with each one that was adding noise. And so by the time they had 4 of them in a row, or even within like a matrix, the noise was just through the roof. So they figured out that these karaoke delay chips did not have this noise problem. And so they came up with this big giant array. And there's different ways that you can they interrelate. You can have them in serial. You can have these sort of like feedback things, and there's a little patch thing at the end for breaking some of these normalizations, external signal, blah blah blah.
Sounds cool.
It was not.
No.
No, it was really like
It's big too, and I actually never used the delay that's on the voltage lab, like ever.
Is it the same one?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was super impressed.
Yeah.
How much HP we talking?
It's fucking big. Like
Really?
Like half a row maybe.
over
Whoa,
40
okay.
HP.
Yeah,
it's
don't need
very
that.
large. Yeah, at first I saw it and was like, oh, it's kind of like trying to be a much more basic Rainmaker, but not quite. You saw they're on the black panel wave now too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
They released their old standalone module voice thing, and it's like a black panel, and it looks better, but you know.
Now I'm officially out. So Greg, you said you had another one?
I had a couple.
Oh, okay.
First and foremost, I can't even say this one without laughing. I kept watching the videos of it and seeing the pictures of it, and I just kept cracking up every time because I'm just like, who asked for this? It is the Leak Home DM48 digital MIDI harmonica.
What? Oh, I slept on this.
Yeah, I didn't see this one at all either. So go on.
Have you ever wanted to assign notes to slices of a breakbeat and chop up an amen break, Dave? With the power of your voice,
Whoa.
now you can.
I didn't know that I wanted to, but now that I know that it's possible, I
Yes.
want nothing else.
Yeah. Yep. You can practice your harmonica playing in silence now, Dave.
Oh,
Because why would I want that?
I don't know. It's a MIDI controller that you. It's an ugly ass black box.
Does it look like a harmonica? Like does it
Not
have the format?
really.
No.
It looks like a UFO, but you can assign, each note individually. So like if you're not running a harmonica emulation, you could also control other plugins with this. Control note data with your mouth, which isn't new exactly, but now you can do it in the format of a harmonica.
They should ban that company from being able to use like plastic. They should be like, no, this is you're just wasting resources.
They lost their plastic license.
Lost our fucking plastic
Like
license.
if you wanted to practice harmonica and not annoy everyone around you, now you can just annoy yourself in silence.
I'm still like really stuck on the image of someone ripping like an amen break through one of those.
That's what
full fucking like raga jungle style.
I wish the video demonstrated something like that. Like that is just what my own brain developed,
Yeah.
trying to think of a cool use for this fucking thing. And I was like, well, you could probably chop a break with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, why am I thinking that? But yeah. So that was at the top of my list of just bad. And then there was another one that I was also just seemed like a fucking joke. The Casiotone CT-S200, S300, and S250. I can't even describe to you how bad this thing is. It's so ugly, so huge. Like, just Google it
Okay.
and see for yourself.
because I had like a Casiotone CT something, and it was super tiny, dude.
This ain't tiny. And the video spends more time talking about the giant handle that is built into it as a selling point than anything else. The dude, the sales guy, first he hangs it on the wall and goes, look, you can hang it anywhere. And I'm like, why would you be hanging your synth up? I don't know, but okay.
Oh my God.
And then he's playing it,
shit.
and he goes, now you don't have to play horizontal anymore. You could play vertical. And he takes the giant handle and he lifts it above his head and he goes like this. I'm like, that's what a keytar is for, and that's a little more ergonomic than this giant handle in the middle of it. But yeah, I don't know. Every video of this thing was a joke, and I had to watch it. Yeah, it's ugly
like-
as hell. It's gigantic. It looks like
under
a toy.
$200.
Yeah, And it looks like that's for the base model. You can get other ones with a little more features. Like features such as a pitch bend wheel.
Good. That's a good feature.
Not all models have it. You have to get, I think, the 250 to upgrade to the pitch bend wheel. But they all feature dance music mode.
Oh,
Yes. The sales guy said this lets you easily create and remix EDM tracks, Dave.
Hey.
The Power of Rave, brought to you by Casiotone.
what does the E stand for? Is that electronic? What's the D stand for? I don't know. I'm not
Eccentric
familiar.
dick moves, Dave.
Eccentric dick moves.
They're pushing the envelope here, Dave. In quotes, this was the sales pitch in every video. You can make music anytime, anywhere.
So if this was like late 80s, early 90s, this would be advertised by like a dude on a skateboard holding this by it, like the handle, going to the beach. There's like a little beach party going on and like a bonfire, and like there's no music, and then he shows up and he's carrying this on his skateboard, maybe turns it into a bike, maybe a surfboard at this point.
Has built-in speakers too, like totally got that like late 80s boombox vibe. But it's the year 2020.
I love this oxymoron too. Go anywhere portability with 61 full-size keys. That's
Super
not
portable.
fucking portable.
Super portable.
61
Nick,
full-size keys are
Nick.
like fucking 4 feet wide.
Did you not see the handle,
Look at this
Nick?
picture for perspective. Like they're taking up the entire side of tables.
Oh yeah, with the handle, you can just pick it up and go.
I mean, how more portable can you get? It has a fucking handle.
I'm sold now.
Wait, is this him? Is that your boy?
But that's the dude that was standing in the background of some of the videos and doing
Showing you how easy it is to hold.
you know, like the dudes who stand in front of banks and like spin the fucking signs. He's doing that with one of these things back there and like making goofy faces and shit, showing how portable it is. While the sales guy with the douchey haircut and the fucking microphones are talking about how, you know, you're not limited to just horizontal playing anymore and blah, blah, blah.
If you're pulling like synth rep straws, that is the very shortest fucking straw you can get.
So I don't know what's going on in this video, and I'm not playing it, but this young woman is astonished.
This young woman is getting paid by Casio.
She's astonished
to
at the
talk about
capabilities.
this thing.
I can't believe it's $120 and I still fucking hate it this much.
And I also feel like this is somewhat predatory, because it's going to be that thing where like someone's aunt or uncle goes into the guitar center, is like,
Timmy said he wanted a Moog.
exactly. Oh well, you know,
Is this a Moog? Oh, this is better than a Moog, lady. You can take this anywhere. You can make music anytime, anywhere.
He can pick it up real easy, better than a Moog.
He can't use that Moog without an amp. Does he have an amp? Oh, I don't know. Let me ask. Well, don't worry. This has speakers built in.
He said he wanted a Moog 1.
Make music anywhere, anytime.
He's gonna like this one.
Oh, the keys light up. Oh, that's
Maybe I'll get him this harmonica too.
Yeah, let's do a quiz. Fuck it. I mean,
all right. So this is now the quiz portion. So okay, the rules of this are going to be: I'm going to provide you a comment that was provided in a YouTube video for one of these presentations from the aforementioned convention, and you're going to tell me what it's from.
okay.
Now, previously I'd given you a list, but
I like the list.
forgot to do that.
Fuck.
So this is I'm going to rephrase this not as me being lazy and irresponsible. I'm going to say this is just a higher challenge. So do we accept the terms of this?
I don't have a choice.
You really don't have a choice. That's what's happening.
Fucking dragging us into this shit, Dave. Cross the threshold into
I'm kind of pissed.
Dave's hell.
Okay. All right. So here's the first one. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
No, you don't look ready.
I'm
As ready as ever.
I'm chomping at the bit.
All right.
I'm still dreaming of Casiotone.
All right. Only a German would design such a thing.
I know this right off the bat, I think. Dieter Doepfer's dick stick.
It is 100% Dieter Doepfers. This is for the Doepfer A174 3-dimensional joystick.
Beautiful bulbous biomechanical joystick.
Are you guys ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad they added a power button. Since this is incredibly unfair, if you guys want clues.
I mean,
One clue.
I think a lot of things have power buttons. Can we get a clue?
This is an update of a previous product.
I think I know what it is. Fuck. Give me a minute, though.
I'm clueless. I'm going to let
can
you
edit.
take the lead on this one. Deluge?
No, but that's a good guess. The Deluge does have a power button.
Does it? Okay.
It just can be powered either through DC power or USB.
Gotcha.
I want one clue. Tell me the country of origin of the manufacturer.
I need to look this up because I want to make sure that I get it 100% correct.
It's got to be something that sucks because clearly people want to turn it off.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
The company that makes this is French.
French.
I will give you one more clue. The name of this product is something Pro.
Oh, Keystep Pro.
Exactly.
Oh.
Ding, ding, ding. We will insert the ding, ding, ding.
Artorias French?
Yeah.
They are French.
Really?
Yes.
Never knew that. Okay.
That's why I had to look it up to make sure that was correct.
I
Gotcha.
always think UK for some reason, but I think they're French.
Okay, on to the next one. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Perfect for space movies. Christopher Nolan and James Cameron should buy this. I'm not. It is James Cameron in the comment.
Korg Wave State.
That is exactly it. Ding, ding, ding.
okay.
Well played. Are you guys ready for the next to last?
Yes, sir.
The penultimate. This is just another money-making scam to force people to use different connections.
MIDI 2.0?
This is a video about MIDI 2.0
Nice.
in which someone was espousing their conspiracy theory that someone is making money.
Didn't someone do that last year too when it was first announced? People were saying this is all like a conspiracy. There's some people that got some serious beef with MIDI.
Is it a different connection?
I don't know because I didn't actually watch the video this time, but I imagine it would have to be. I mean, the architecture is so fucking old at
So
this
much with
point.
5 pins. It's
I
the
mean,
copper cartels.
You'd think that'd go with USB at this point, which everything already has
Or like
anyways. So where's the
Ethernet. Yeah.
conspiracy theory?
so much audio shit's going to Ethernet now
Yeah.
too. Which Ethernet is on that MPC one. I still don't understand why.
It was on the Force too, and
Yeah.
I wasn't really clear why.
They're like vague about how you can use it to connect to
Yeah.
other shit, but yeah, because all that audio shit now is on Ethernet. That Dante spec, you can apparently it's super low latency and fucking super nice too. But
I know I could share files to it too.
that's
Over it.
cool.
Yeah.
Was it like addressable? Like they have it done
think
like
so.
network drive? Yeah. Well. All right, are you guys ready?
Yes, sir.
For the last question. This was my favorite one. I'll wait for the Boland Bopiter B.
Boland Bopiter B.
What is that for?
Oh shit.
It's I bet is it the Udo Super 6?
It is. Oh wait, Greg, do you have a guess?
No, I was thinking the same thing and I couldn't remember the name of it. The thing that looked like a Jupiter.
Yeah,
It is.
but-
It's the Roland Jupiter X.
What the fuck is that?
That's the we played with the XM one. It's like $1,500
Yeah.
keyboard that emulates
Oh,
all
Yeah.
the shit.
forgot all about that. Thing.
Boland Bopiter B.
Yeah, like I've read that and I lost it. Holy shit!
I like it.
I wasn't keeping track. Did someone win?
I think we tied.
tied.
Do we have a tiebreaker?
Oh shit! I may have a tiebreaker. Oh wait, I have another. I mean, I had another question.
Sudden death round?
Sudden death round. Okay, I got another one.
quick.
Shoot.
You guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
Please make one with the old school color.
I'm going to say the Korg ARP 2600. Someone probably wants the blue panel.
That is a good guess, but that is incorrect.
Damn.
Blue Meanie. Yeah.
I will give you a clue. We did talk about this product.
RD3?
No, this was not a good tiebreaker then. This was a comment from the Akai MPC 1.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I do have one more then. And this is scraping the bottom of the barrel now. But we really cannot end on a tie. All right, you guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
Slew Slop. Dave.
Slew Slop Dave. Well, fuck. Did we talk about this product?
Did not talk about this.
Shit.
We did not talk about this company tonight either.
Pro 3.
Nick is the winner of our quiz.
All right.
Congratulations.
Damn.
Yes, this
Okay,
was a
all
video
right.
for the SI Pro 3.
That would, yeah.
Wow. Congratulations. I have no prize for you
Yeah, it's
whatsoever.
Dave Smith. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the only thing I could latch on to there.
Nicely done.
Dave, without the Dave.
I was grasping the
Yeah.
fucking straws there. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
'Cause I think that has a slew limiter on the...
But does it have a slop limiter?
Because the Evolver had the slop
Yeah, it has.
argument.
Oh, does it
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I messed with it.
Yeah.
That
And
thing,
then
dude.
Dave is the name of Dave Smith.
Yeah.
Slew
that's
Slop
right.
Dave.
Yeah.
Weird fucking comment.
Gotta make it come.
We were just describing the Mega FM. It's going to make you come. Holy shit.